Greetings, everyone. You have certified personal growth and development coach and certified law of attraction specialist Keith Young here, back once again with another personal growth and development message. In this video, this is the part one of a four-part video series that I'm doing. These are going to be short videos on resetting 100% of your consciousness. Again, don't be afraid to, if you're on YouTube, to hit that subscribe button and that bell for notifications when a new video comes out. If you're on Facebook, please like my Facebook page, Inner Game Magic and the number 1. And as always, feel free to leave comments as well. So this is about resetting your consciousness. Those of you who know me or are one of my clients know I like to use visualization techniques to help you reprogram your brain. Well, I'm starting to move past the word visualization because some people just have issues with that word. And it just maybe conjures up a spiritual association with it. The word that is used in science is mental rehearsal. And I really like that phrase, mental rehearsal. In mental rehearsal, there are two types of mental rehearsals. There's what's called your internal imaging, which means you're in the same as the first person experiencing it. And then there's the external mental imaging, which is when you are observing yourself in the scene. And as it turns out, when you are in the first person in the scene and not the third person, and in that same action of rehearsing, what you are doing produces a strong biological change. So as an example, you can take a group of people that have never played the piano and you can do a functional brain scan on them. Then you can physically teach them some scales and chords, one-handed scales and chords, that they'll practice those chords for 2 hours a day for 5 days. And at the end of 5 days, they will grow whole new sets of circuits on the opposite side of the brain. Now that makes complete sense, because if you learn something new learning is making new synaptic connections in your brain. Anytime that you repeatedly do something over and over again, you are firing and wiring these new synaptic connections in your brain. You are also teaching your body a new way of being, and you feel it within your body as well. That's why athletes repeatedly practice, so they have what they call muscle memory, and it becomes a habit to where they do not have to even think about it. They can just react and do what they want their body to do. Now, you can take a group of people and you can have them close their eyes and then do a brain scan on them before the experiment, and 5 days later do another brain scan. Now, in this experiment, they only mentally rehearse playing those same one-handed scales and chords on the piano as the other people who physically played those scales and chords. The end of those 5 days, they grow the same amount of circuits in the brain as the people actually physically doing the piano exercise. So what does this tell us? Well, number one, when you're truly focused and you're truly paying attention, your brain does not know the difference between what's going on in the outer world or going on in the inner world. Your thought becomes the experience in that brain, in your brain. And it looks like you've been playing the piano for the last 5 days, but they never lifted a finger. So from a biological standpoint, our brains are a record of the past, an artifact of everything that we have experienced to this point. Now, when we prime the brain to change its circuitry before the experience, now the brain is no longer a record of the past. It is a map to the future. And so as we warm up those brain circuits, it's more easy for us to slip into that supernatural behavior. That group of people that mentally rehearsed playing those scales and chords in their mind is like magic. They learn to do those scales and chords by changing their internal state. So this is the end of part 1 of our 4-part series of videos. Stay tuned for the second part of this video, where I'll take you through another experiment that is going on using a bodybuilder, and we'll get more into how to reprogram that mindset so you can create the kind of future that you want to create. So until the next video, wishing you much abundance, prosperity, and success.